Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
I want to welcome you to the very first OhioRAAM Show. My name is Lee Kreider. I'm the webmaster, newsletter editor, and general all-around gopher for this organization. And on tonight's show, we're going to have Amy and John McFadden, who are the time station captains of Time Station 41 in Blanchester, Ohio. Have a little chat with them.
Well, that's how it all started back 9 years ago. We didn't have a clue as to what we were doing.
And we still don't.
And we still don't. That's right. We just stumble around as best we can. Show number 400. We got some fun today, Jim, haven't we?
Definitely, Lee. And I want to wish you a happy birthday. A little bit late, but happy birthday.
As our UK guest pointed out, the Queen celebrates whenever she chooses, so I'm going to celebrate too. Thank all of you.
Yes.
Be sure to make your comments now because we're going to have some gifts later on.
Definitely.
We'll talk about that more and get some more people in here. But, well, we've got some greetings, Jim.
Yes.
From a variety of people. First of all, have you got any news?
No, I've been offline for the last week at Ragbri, so I haven't watched the TV, very little limited coverage on the phone, so I have no idea what's been going on.
The world kept on spinning, Jim.
I know, yes, that's a good thing.
The sun came up every morning, as best I recall.
Definitely.
So with that, you were so hard to get in front of a camera.
I know, it's
and
terrible.
And so was the voice of the OhioRAAM Show, Greg Zuber, but
Yes.
at last.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Zuber. I live in Dayton, Ohio, and I'd just like to say congratulations to the OhioRAAM Show, number 400. What a milestone. I'd like to thank them for letting me be a part of it, and I appreciate everything they do.
That is awesome.
There is Gregory Zuber, the voice of the OhioRAAM Show, the guy you hear. He's such a good guy.
Did he ever find his car? Did they find his car?
You know, he did. He found his car. It was parked behind a shopping area. And, of course, it had been stripped.
Oh.
And he sold it for junk.
Oh,
it was an
terrible.
89 Buick, guys.
Yep.
But I didn't realize what the real loss was, Jim. He wasn't crying so much over his car.
Mm-hmm.
It was his fishing tackle
that
was in the back. It's like having your car stolen with that new Spiegel on top.
You go. It would not be a good day.
Who cares about the damn car?
Exactly. Give me my bike back.
But he got that. And hey, what? I want to start this show off right with this greeting.
Well, hello, this is Pastor Neil from Fairview United Methodist Church. Congratulations, Lee, on your 400th show. That is quite a milestone, and I pray for God's blessings for you for many, many more. Take care.
Now we've got God on our side, Jim.
Definitely, that's a great thing to have.
And better still, the Methodist as well. So
Yes.
I mean, what more could one want? Fairview is a great church. It serves a very needy community in many, many ways, and yet offers great worship. And man, have we ever got a pipe organ? And I was there this morning. Good land, our organist just rocked that place. You just don't hear great pipe organ music much anymore anywhere.
Yeah.
So many of them have been lost, and we're so glad to have that.
Yep. Shout out to Soren out there, Team Skydog.
Yeah. Hi,
Glad
Soren.
you're here. Yes, definitely. Thank you for showing up.
Glad to have Denmark pop in there.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chance at some gifts. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see. I want to get one more greeting in here before we introduce our guest today.
Hi, I'm Aidan McGee. I stay in Airdrie, Scotland. In 1995, when I ordered this George Longstaff tricycle, I wasn't sure if ergo power shifters would work, so I asked in CompuServe. We knew the answer, and he's always stuck to his 400th show, so good luck with the 400th show.
Thank you, Aidan, and those of you who don't understand Scott,
raise your hand. That's me.
He is probably my oldest internet. Well, we go back before the internet on CompuServe. They weren't even connected then.
There you go, exactly.
And he had asked a question about Campy shifters working, on the brake levers, and I had them on the tandem, and that's how we became friends. Been to his house. He had us to dinner a couple times. Great guy.
Awesome. That's great.
So let's bring in a couple of guests here.
Okay.
First of all, we're going to go to Switzerland with Brian and Stacy Welsh. Hi, Brian. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, guys.
Glad to have you here.
We're going to talk to Brian a little later on about what has happened to him and what is happening to him. And then our very best friend in the United Kingdom, Shu Pillinger. Hi, Shu, number 513.
Hey, Shu.
That's your race across America. What's yours, Stacy? Brian, what's your number?
Oh,
both of them.
It depends on which race. 273 is a solo, but I've done 202, 404, 402, 409.
But your solo number is 373?
Is it? Probably 373, yeah.
373. And once you have that number, that's yours for life. And whenever you ride again, that'll be your number. So,
well, I'm entered for next year.
Yeah. So we'll be talking more with these people a little later on. Shu, Shu, we don't mention this too often. You've been on the show a lot of time, but tell some people out here who may not know about your father.
Oh, well, first off, can I just say happy 400th anniversary episode? That's awesome.
Thank you.
A very, very big achievement. I don't think I've done 400 of anything ever. So I'm very, very impressed. Well, actually, for the fans of the show, they might remember when we had one which was a bit dedicated to talking about space and astronomy a while back, actually. My father led Britain's mission to land on Mars with a probe called Beagle 2. Mm-hmm. It's part of the European Mars Express mission back in 2003.
That's awesome.
And then he was worked with the what was the name of the lander? The Rosetta, wasn't it?
The Comet lander, yeah.
Yeah,
so he
landed on a comet.
Yeah.
But did not get to see that happen, did he?
No, sadly. And also he sadly didn't get to see RAM either. He died a few months before my first start at RAM. And I know at the time he was very, very excited about me going to America to do RAM and was ready to track me all the way across the continent. Unfortunately, I broke my collarbone on my first attempt. So that wasn't great, but he didn't get to see me finish successfully either the next year.
Well, you can just go to Wikipedia and look up Colin Pillinger. You'll learn all about him. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to have Meg Hackinen on here as well, because these people all work together. We'll talk more about that later. But unfortunately, she is riding her bike. How could she do that in some kind of crazy tour there in Oregon? So we can't bring her with us. Hey, listen, I forgot. Before, we need to talk about gifts, don't we?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Got to have two gifts today. First of all, you can win. I get the right.
There you go. You got it.
Official RAM T-shirt, which has this little discreet logo on the front there, and we're happy to say that there's no gaudy stuff on the back. So we will give one of those away, and you can win it in your size. We'll size it for you and everything.
Definitely.
And the other thing we have is the official RAM coffee mug with the. I got to learn how to show stuff on camera. These people do it professionally.
There you go, professionally. You get it.
But anyhow, there's the logo.
Yeah.
And on the other side is the Race Across America logo.
Definitely awesome.
We're going to give those two things away. So be sure and make your comments. Better make more than we got here. I know who we'll give them to.
Yep, and a little plug for Spiegel Bikes. Hey, Vesna, thanks for showing up.
Spiegel Bikes showed up here. But,
I rode 500 miles on one of their San Marino frames this past week. Love it to death. You cannot beat it.
I'm glad you had that to say, Jim.
Yes.
Because it would have been too bad if the other wouldn't have been. You finally got parts for it, didn't you?
Yes, we put it together the day before we left. It had 10 miles on it and then did 500 flawless miles. So it was awesome.
Very good. Very good. Okay, before we go to Meg, let's get one more greeting in here. Let's go over to Singapore.
Hi, Lee, and to the rest of your staff. Just a huge congratulations for your 400th show in the OhioRAAM Show. It's been a great journey. I wish you all the best.
So awesome.
Okay, very good. Give you a little different view of what goes on here.
Behind the scenes on the 400th
Studio
episode.
A.
There you go.
Jim, have you got a camera behind you?
Actually, I don't right now. I took it down because I'm going to revamp things a little bit better.
His is even more impressive, but he handles all the technology here. So thank you, Carmela, for that. Carmela lives in Singapore, but she runs the ultra cycling and I can't say that word. Let's try. All those words are hard to say. Randonneur in the Philippine Islands, and we're happy for that. So, yeah, when we see you next year, we'll bring you Sky. Oh, that would be great.
Awesome. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Team Skydog from Denmark. That would be fantastic. So be sure to get your comments in here, everyone. Jim, go ahead and let's run Megan's little thing.
All right, here we go.
Hackinen on the show is she's always out riding her bike somewhere, and we had to catch her in the midst of a tour right now. So Megan, welcome back once again to the OhioRAAM Show.
Hi, Lee. Thanks for having me. I'm in Lee's Camp, Oregon right now.
Lee's Camp, Oregon, and you've kind of taken a day or so off for a tour, and that's the reason why you couldn't be with us live on our anniversary, but we're glad to have you here. It has produced at least one book, Megan.
South Away, the Pacific Coast on
South
Two
Away,
Wheels.
yeah. I don't have a copy right here at the moment. Maybe I do. No, that's another book.
That's another book.
So you did this thing called Epic 1000, which was kind of an alternative. You were going to crew for Brian Welsh, I believe, were you not? And
that's right,
of course,
yeah.
He couldn't get here, and at the time, you found it difficult to go back and forth across the Canadian border.
Mm-hmm.
You normally hang your hat in British Columbia, don't you?
That's right, yeah. I live in Kelowna, BC.
Yeah. Well, tell us what this Epic 1000 was all about, Megan.
Yeah, so the BC Epic 1000 is kind of a self-supported off-road bikepacking race. And it takes place every year on the last weekend of June. It's been going on for a few years right now. They didn't have it last year kind of because of COVID. So I think for a lot of people, this was their first event post-pandemic. Well, the pandemic is still with us, but the first event with the easing of restrictions. So myself, along with everyone else, we were really looking forward to it. It starts in Merritt in the interior of the province. It goes through the Okanagan on rail trail mostly. and it finishes in Fernie in the Rocky Mountains. So it traverses some different terrain and some pretty high passes. There's one that's over 2,000 meters. I don't know what that is in feet, but it's a pretty steady gravel climb at 8.6%. It's a really exciting route. There's there's no officials or anything. Your dots are live on track leaders, so people can follow along that way. And it's completely self-supported, so no one's able to kind of be following you around, handing you water bottles and ice socks or anything like that. It's every man, woman, and child for themselves.
So I gather this goes through some pretty remote areas. And how much support or how much facilities could you find along the route, Megan?
In general, there was a town about every 100 kilometers, sometimes more than that, so about every 60 miles. And it's on gravel, so it's a lot slower, I've learned, than riding on road. I just kind of started off-road cycling this year, and sometimes I'm absolutely shocked how slow going gravel is. There's a couple single track sections that I was probably going like 4 miles an hour for a couple hours. Definitely not the same as road cycling. The BC Epic 1000 started the first day the heat dome 2021 kind of, fell in over BC. And it was absolutely brutal temperatures up to, I think, like 115 Fahrenheit, which is not what we're used to in this part of the world. So every time I got to a gas station, I bought a bag of ice and I would fill my hydration bag with it and top it up with a little water. I made ice socks for myself and put them down my back. And I was just stuffing ice down my sun sleeves, down the thighs of my shorts, just really trying to take those opportunities to cool down. Because I think that, it was just so brutally hot out there, and it really saps you of your strength. You can't perform once your core temperature starts, rising. So my primary goal was to try and moderate my temperature a bit. So I hopped in creeks, I lingered in tunnels, and I did a lot of night riding. But that all kind of helped me.
What was your sleep patterns, and where?
Good question. So the first night, I didn't want to sleep much. I wanted to kind of ride through, but I decided to take a little nap up by one of the, I guess there's some beautiful trestles in this area called Myra Canyon, and there's a little storm shelter. So I laid down, took a nap for maybe 20, 30 minutes. I brushed my teeth and pretended like I was going to bed, then hopped back on the bike. And the next night, I decided to get a motel room because my lights weren't charging off my battery pack. I think I brought a bad cable with me. So I needed to charge them up somewhere. And so I was able to charge them up indoors. So I think it was a compatibility issue between the battery pack and the cable. So I got a motel room and I was there for maybe 3.5 hours total, including shower and sleep time. And then I don't think I slept at all the next day. And I maybe got one other little nap in there somewhere. So I slept under 3 hours in total. Yeah, that's right. It takes place every year. And the route organizer, Leonard Pretorius, I think he made the route kind of as a preparation shakedown ride for the Tour Divide. So it's kind of like a smaller version of that, more well-known ride. And the rail grade in general isn't that challenging, but the climbs go on forever, and because it maxes out at 2%, except for some of the climbs that are off of rail grade. So it's not like, it doesn't sound super challenging, but there's parts of the route that are really tricky, like the single track sections, or one of them isn't so tricky, but one of them is just sandy and messy. And I didn't understand like how much hike a bike there would be. I'm not used to pushing my bike. I'm a bit of a roadie princess. I like to ride my bike. So that was all a bit of a learning experience for me. And this section at the end was very confusing from Elko to the finish. And I was late at night. I was disoriented and just wanted to be at the end. And all of a sudden, it's this kind of a labyrinth of roads, and they're really rough and rocky. And at one point, I took a bail, and as I fell, I shouted the name of Leonard, the organizer. I was like, Leonard! And I don't know if I was praying for him to like save me as I fell, or cursing him for putting me out here. But I got up, hopped on my bike, and my GPS navigator got knocked out of place, and I slotted it back in, but I didn't slot it back in properly. So later descending, it fell off my bike and I absolutely couldn't find it. It was kind of on a hillside. It might have gone over. And after like 10 minutes, I gave up and I used my phone to navigate. So the takeaway from this is that it's always important to have a secondary navigation unit.
Have a backup system to navigate. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Definitely.
And the technology today is so remarkable. I know it's just, I was thinking about my son and daughter-in-law are currently riding across the nation on their tandem, and they're trying to find their way on bike ways as much as possible, adding a few miles as a result. We were kind of chatting, and I was looking on the, Google Maps and what have you, and I'm thinking, why didn't I have that stuff? Hey, Megan, it's so great to have you here with us celebrating this 400th show.
Woo!
Yeah.
400. Congratulations, Lee.
There's nobody I'd like to have on the show better than you, Megan, because you've been such a good friend and a reporter. You've reported again and again for us. We won't let you go. You'll get this job again somehow, somewhere. You can bet on that.
Oh, thank you. I want to be part of the OhioRAAM world as well.
Okay, thanks a lot, Megan. Ride strong, ride safe, ride happy. You always do, I think.
I'm in a pretty good mood on my bike. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
But most of us are, except those few moments. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, Rick Swetch here from the 10 Buck Bike Club in Longmont, Colorado, offering up cheers and hearty congratulations to Lee Kreider and Jim Lawyer for 9 awesome years of the OhioRAAM Show and 400 episodes about all things endurance and ultracycling. You guys are rock stars. Keep up the great work. And hey Lee, happy birthday to you. You know what they say, the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana.
Us. Sometimes the problem with getting Meg Hackinen. Well, we're both doing the same.
We both clicked at the same time. Sorry, Lee.
Oh, that's no problem. I should trust you to get it done, Jim.
No, you're good. Sorry. You're good. No, I'm the rookie here, so you're awesome, dude.
No, you're the guy with the technology, so we're glad to have it here. Let's get another greeting in here from someone we all know.
Hi, everyone. This is Sandy Earle from Eureka, California. Huge congratulations to the OhioRAAM Show for making its 400th show today. I can't wait to sit down in my gazebo and see this action. Let's go.
Okay.
That was
Sandy,
awesome.
We're going to go. She got one of our OhioRAAM Show signs in there, didn't she?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, let's get Shu and Brian and Stacy back up on top here. Brian, first off, you had quite a little, let's state you are a RAM veteran, a number of episodes, but you had quite a little problem on Corsica, didn't you? Tell us about it.
I'll tell you what I can. I was racing in Corsica at Bike Man. On the second day, people tell me it was raining, and I was descending quite quickly, according to my Garmin, because I don't remember any of it. And then I woke up in an ambulance. I phoned my wife to tell her I was okay, and she could tell I wasn't okay, as I was very happy and cheerful in an ambulance with my bike. But I ended up with broken collarbone, broken scapula, and broken ribs, and about concussion for about 3 weeks. But apart from that, I was fine.
I should mention that you're in Switzerland, and I believe this is Swiss National Day, isn't it?
It is Swiss National Day, yes.
Happy National Day, yes.
Congratulations.
Up all last night.
Yeah. Congratulations to you on that. Shu, you got any questions for Brian?
Not necessarily a question, but it seems to be a bit of a habit for Mr. Welsh to go on these rides where I'm tracking and something happens to his dot, and I get a phone call from Stacey. This is the second time, Brian. Trans Am, I believe you had a little kip somewhere along a road and panicked us because we thought you'd gone missing, and we had people looking for you from various villages up the road.
On Trans Am, I mean, I understand why Shu and Stacey were both very worried. There was a terrible thing where somebody was killed, and of course somebody was killed in my age group, which, yeah, and there's not a lot of people in my age group. So whilst I was kipping quite happily under a Methodist church to sleep, they were panicking like mad because you turn your tracker off, partially because you're saving the battery and partially because you want to be able to stop and sleep without being found. So yeah, I think Shu and Stace were going mental at one stage.
I just want to add in that one of the contributing factors to our little worry there was that his tracker, which does have a certain error range, showed him in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere, not anywhere near a church or a town or anything conducive like that. And this little dot was not moving from the middle of a field. So that's our...
But likewise, Corsica, we saw your dot going very quickly, what appeared to be off course as well. And we were trying to get hold of you to tell you were off course. But little did we know that you were possibly in a fast-moving vehicle. Didn't even occur at that point.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've been very, very lucky. One of the guys from our RAM crew, Paul Alsop, who worked in ICU or ran ICU for 20 years, when I chatted to him about it, he said, "You should be dead." So I'm just riding my luck at the moment. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Really.
Are you recovering okay?
Yes, I did my first really proper training session today.
Good.
It was 2.25 hours on the turbo because I'm not allowed outside yet in case I fall off. But of course, a new bike.
We'll be following it up with a new helmet. So we, as a veteran cyclist, he does have a few helmets, but we will be replacing the one that's gone. I think a big shout out to helmets and helmet makers. Gyro did a fab job. That helmet is a very clear write-off with multiple damage points, very, very visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've taken we took a video of it and we'll remove the expletives from it. But I think if anybody has any doubt as to the validity of a helmet, I have a video that shows what happened to the helmet. I'm very glad it didn't happen to his head.
Definitely. Always wear a helmet. Always.
Yeah. So you're doing RAM 2022, are you, Stacey?
Yes.
Brian? Excuse me.
I am. This is my crew chief. Shu let me down, so I can't say anything about
that.
Shu
was going to be my crew chief in 2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah. And things just kept moving and kept moving and kept moving. Yeah. So poor old Shu was supposed to be doing an Ironman the following year and the same date in 2021. So I said, "Oh, don't worry about being crew chief. Don't do this." And like everything else, poor old Shu's still waiting to do her Ironman. I'm still waiting to do RAM, and Meg's still waiting to crew for me. What I did notice, Lee, was that you forgot to ask Meg how she did in that race. She actually won it by 24 hours.
Yeah, well, I kind of missed that little part of it. I guess we should tell that she has done some remarkable riding and just one tough cookie. And I should mention that her book, South Away, on the show notes, OhioRAAMShow.com, the show notes for this show, you'll see a link for that book.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, let me interrupt one more time for another.
Hi there. This is Srinivas Gokulnath from India. Congratulations, OhioRAAM Show, on reaching the 400 mark. Many more to come. Cheers to you.
Srini, he was the first Indian to finish the race across America. It gave us tremendous excitement that year. As talk about dot watching, we couldn't get away from it.
Yes.
To see which would be the first Indian to finish. It was Srini. He's written a book called Let Go, and we'll be giving a copy of that away later on. Yep. Speaking of giving away, is anybody out there that hadn't made a comment? Our list is pretty thin so far,
yes,
Jim.
Yes, definitely. I know. Make a comment, just say hi.
They might be real lucky. Who knows?
There you go. Exactly.
Okay. Shu, what do you got up in your sleeve as far as besides your arm, as far as cycling or triathleting or running or all those crazy things you do?
Well, weirdly, very little at the moment. This is the first week in absolutely ages, probably since I broke my collarbone, that I haven't cycled all week.
Wow.
Everything has just been so busy here. Work, getting a new job. We've got doing work on the house. The weather's been dreadful, so we've had lots of problems with water. Yeah, it's all just too much at the moment. As Brian said, I'm supposed to be training for an Ironman, but it's been moved to September. But we can't even travel to Austria at the moment without quarantining for 2 weeks, and I can't afford to take 2 weeks to sit in a hotel before an Ironman waiting, and we might not even be able to do it. So that's not going to happen now. So we're going to lose all our money. So yeah, not much. And then my computer broke on Thursday, so I can't even go on Zwift.
Oh no.
Well, whatever you got there is working very well, let me say.
This is a new one. I've only installed things today, just in time for today's show.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
Well, we've got a couple more people here. We'll get to it. We'll get back to you people in a moment. Let's try one of our very best friends.
Hi, everyone from Montreal, Canada. I just want to say that I'm very excited to be part of this great celebration. 400 OhioRAAM shows. Wow, that's magnificent. So we had a really good year this year, amazing program, very exciting, and all the ultra cycling community is just amazing. I'm very happy to be part of it, and I wish everyone a great season to come and all the best.
Very good, Vesna.
Yes, definitely.
And Jim, thanks you for that bike.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, it was a dream to ride. Got a lot of looks. We're 15,000 plus bikers out there, and I think I had the prettiest bike out there.
I'm sure you did, and I'm sorry that I didn't have a photo to put in the background there of your bike, Jim.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I thought midweek of asking it, probably wouldn't have got it anyhow because you were out of communication.
Here's
there
a picture
we go.
Of April and I, yes.
Yeah. Let's. I'm going to turn off the names here so they get a better look at it. They just see the top of it. Has it got your name on it, Jim?
No, it does not. We did not do that. So.
Okay.
But we put the American flag bar tape on it and all kinds of stuff. Made it very, very thing. The only thing it would have been better is the infinity seat, which is coming. So.
Well,
it'd be perfect after that.
Jim donated his infinity seat to Eric Newsholm, who was having trouble, and so you sacrificed for a good cause, Jim.
Definitely got him across the finish line.
And I think you'll get it back. I heard with a signature on it.
I think Dr. Vince is going to keep that one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Which is very. It's all them anyway, so they deserve it.
I bet there's an infinity seat in your future.
Yes, definitely. So
I've
awesome.
done a lot of talking here, Jim. You got any
Not really. Like I said, I'm kind of still out of it. We got pulled in this morning at 6:30 a.m. and all we've been doing is unpacking and washing stuff.
Yeah,
So.
I really put the pressure on Jim to get back here so we could do these giveaways. And,
Lee, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite OhioRAAM show moment? What's the most favorite interview you've done? 400 episodes. You must have spoken to everybody by now.
I've thought about that a little bit. In fact, one point we thought we might do more clips, but I thought that'd be kind of boring. From past shows. You know, I got to do a shout out to Dex Took.
Yes.
I showed you a clip from the first show, but that was about the time that Dex and Johnny had released their book, Unfinished Business. And actually, I was reading it on my Kindle while I was getting a root canal. That's how exciting it was. I in between the dentist working on me, I would read. Great book. It's been around now, well, obviously for a few years. He was on the second show to talk about his book. And I think that kind of made me feel like this was worth doing. If I can get somebody like Dex Took on, we might do something. I think I can't think of moments. I can think of how often so many people's been kind to us in so many ways. Hoppo, Marco Ballo, I get their names colluded there.
There you go, exactly.
And those folks, there's been people we've tried to get on, we haven't had success with, but, well, that's the way life goes. But speaking of people who's met a lot, besides these people who are on the screen right here, I got one more greeting to show you.
Hi, I'd just like to say a very happy birthday to Lee Crider, and thank you for making me a regular on your fantastic OhioRAAM show. And a massive congratulations on reaching that amazing milestone of 400 shows. Personally, I think it's one of the best shows on the airway. Always, never miss a podcast. Anyway, have a great show, and thank you for having me on. All the best.
Well, there's one of the greats, and it was so, he said that just the way I told him to.
There you go. Paid him well, didn't you?
Paid him well, and
that's not like Chris at all.
He can be bought cheap, let's put it that way.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's hard to put. I've thought about that, Shu, and I can't come up with any moments, particularly when Hoppo was on there. I'm thinking, well, Jim, you was with us.
Yep.
On VRAM when we were finished. We finished VRAM with
him,
Hoppo.
Yes.
That was a great moment.
Yes. And when we did the ride for Yuri.
The Yuri ride was a great
Spiegel
moment.
And Vesna, yes.
And Jim, I want to take a moment to thank you for being with us. There wouldn't be OhioRAAM Show if it weren't for, where's he at? This guy.
There you go. No, it's all you. I appreciate you twisting my arm enough to where I finally came out of my shell a little bit.
Yeah,
still learning and still trying.
You're doing great, and bringing a lot of technology with us, which happens to be, I don't care how few people commented. Let's give this stuff away. Come on, Jim.
All right, there you go.
Let's do the
going to go up t-shirt first?
But you can't win you can't win two times.
There you go. All right, let's see.
Let's see who gets the t-shirt.
All right. Hey, I'm learning how to do this finally. Here we go. Ah, Vesna, you won the t-shirt.
T-shirt. Let's see now. Try again and see who wins the coffee mug
Okay.
here.
Here we go.
I love the randomizer. This is great.
It's so tricky. It makes you think you won, and then there's one. And
There
Martin,
you go.
okay, you guys, I need your address. Jim, tell them how to do this.
Basically, yeah, if you send it to winner@OhioRAAMShow.live, we'll get you your items. And thank you for commenting and joining us today, as always. We get everything back to normal here.
Yeah, I hope they got that. Well, you know how to look us up. Just track us down some way. Get your addresses, and I'll get those off to you real quick. For the person, let's see. Vesna won the T-shirt.
Yes.
I can get it in women's sizes, small, medium, large, extra large, well, whatever. Just let me know what size, and I'll get that off to you in the appropriate size. So, Shu, thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
You're welcome, Lee. And Jim, it's very nice to be invited.
You know, we're trying to wrangle Sue in, Jim, just like I wrangled you in.
Yep.
To be a part of this show more often.
Yes.
Are you going to be on Brian's crew next year or not?
Well, this is a very good question. It's going to possibly depend whether Brian's still talking to me after I let him down 2 years in a row. Also, probably to do with work as well. I'm just changing jobs to go and work for AstraZeneca. So it's going to depend on, I guess, the state of the world, whether we're all fighting COVID still, and whether I can take a bit of time off to go to America.
But at least you will be able to get us all sort of vaccinated very quickly, obviously.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of discouraging because, like I say, our church this morning followed the CDC guidelines. The mask went back on.
Yep.
And it is really kind of a come down. It's hard to explain it psychologically. But you guys there have been up and down, haven't you?
Well, we've got relaxed conditions now, but we can't go anywhere, or we can travel, but no country will let us in. So I can't even go to Switzerland at the moment. I can't go to France or Germany or Austria or America.
Yeah. Well, it's United Kingdom isn't a bad place to be stuck in.
Definitely.
I told my wife the other day I'd like to make one more trip before I die, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll see. Hey, let's, Jim, figure out how to get out of here.
There you go.
And I hate to bring this.
Thank you all for being here for the.
Yeah,
400th.
thank
That
you
was
all
awesome.
for being here. We appreciate. Thanks everybody for watching. And
happy 400th edition.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been great. Let's get Greg to help us out here, Jim.
Go. All right.
We'll get going.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.